so far so good, really, Craig, for Carlo Ancelotti's men, managing to get the results even when they're not playing their best, even when they're missing players.
And they're missing so many key players and still managing to go on the road and put a very professional performance on. I mean, when you start a game like that, particularly with that first goal, I mean, he scored some great goals in his career. That was another special one, just the way, as Xhaka said, laid back to him by Toni Kroos, just first time bending it. And I think that just set the tone for the whole performance. Yeah, they had to weather a bit of a storm in the second half, but I think, as the boys were saying in commentary, you know, Athletic Club huffed and puffed into the edge of that penalty box and then kind of ran out of ideas, or the final ball wasn't the best. So yeah, I mean, I think if you'd have said at the start of the season, 19 games, 46 points, got a healthy gap, you got Atletico Madrid struggling, you got Barcelona with big problems, and the rest of them behind are pretty inconsistent. It's a very good position for Real Madrid to be in. Yeah,
it really is. Luis Garcia is with us right now, joining us from northern Spain for the festive period, and we have just let you all know that's not a sauna he's in. It is a log cabin.
I love how you have to remind everybody.
I need everybody to know. People might just be joining us for this part of the show. Luis Garcia, we're just singing Benzema's praises. What a brilliant start to the season it has been for him. He's just celebrated his birthday, 34 years old, and there are no signs of him stopping right now.
No, not at all, and he's becoming more and more the most important player of this team. Not only because of what he provides, he's always linking fantastic with the players in midfield, also with Vinicius. He's got a great partnership during the whole season, but also with goals, something that for many years has been on the shade of one of the biggest players in the history of football, Cristiano Ronaldo, with that amount of goals that he used to provide. But suddenly he leaves the team and he becomes a key man at the front, scoring goals, assisting, and once again, one of the best players in Europe at the moment, 34 years old, and is still showing that the age is just a number, and every single weekend that he's on the field shows that he's one of the most talented players we ever seen playing up front for Real Madrid.
And that wonderful connection we're seeing with Vinicius Jr. and Karim Benzema is just great for Madridistas to see.
Incredible. Coming to this game, all the talk was around the players that were missing, either through injury and through COVID. We spoke before the game about the midfield and how the absence of Modric and Casemiro would affect Real Madrid. Yet, at the end of 90 minutes, we were talking about the two players who've stolen all the headlines for Real Madrid all season long, Vinicius Jr. and Karim Benzema, who again linked up so well together. You even got a glimpse of Eden Hazard every now and then. So all in all, a very good 90 minutes, a very good 3 points. Yes, as we mentioned before, you've played a game more than everybody else, but you prefer to have the points than the games. You're 8 points ahead of Sevilla in second. And while we could criticise Real Madrid for drop points and poor performances of late, Sevilla, in their showing against Barcelona, I don't think they looked anything like a team who is capable of closing an 8-point gap on Real Madrid. And that is the thing for Real right now, as you look at the chasing pack, who is equipped to run them down. And right now, I'm drawing blank.
Just going back to Benzema, one of the things I love about, many things to enjoy about his game, particularly at his age, he's 34 now. Particularly at his age, still fit, still scoring great goals, still really leading this Real Madrid side, taking that weight on his shoulders, that pressure on his shoulders, and harnessing it. And looks as if he actually enjoys it, being the man that Ancelotti relies on, the man that his teammates rely on. I mean, obviously there are other great players, but he really carries that can and has done well. But when Real Madrid are building the play up, he doesn't always stand as a number 9. Sometimes drops a little short, but quite often, even during this game, if you watch him, he goes and stands on the wide position. Somebody else might come inside. Then as the play builds up, he sort of wanders in and around. And I think that gives him an added timing of finding space, because he does wander into areas of the field, particularly wider areas when Real Madrid are passing it around, and then that allows him at the right time to make those runs or bend a run around the back and get that strike that we saw. And that's an experienced player who's learned his trade and he's harnessed those experiences as his career's gone on, and he's learned to just take up better positions. It's not just about finishing. It's about understanding where the best place to be at the right time on the field is. That's clever football, but it's also experience too.
Yeah, I think that's a big point that you make, that a lot of people who were underappreciating Benzema in years gone by were not watching the work that he was doing off the ball, so they were just balancing it all by his goals.
He's a very clever footballer in terms of the positions when he's not on the ball that he takes up, hence he gets so many goals.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube, and for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app, and for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.